Hi, Tim Horschler with New Voyager Trading, another version of Tim Talks, and today we're going to be presenting information about the Kromski Polonaise spinning wheel. At the get-go here, I need to say that this is my favorite Kromski wheel, so I might go on a little long about some aspects of it that I like, but it's really a unique wheel on the market, an exceptional value. And it's got some history, some Kromski history and some spinning wheel history, and I want to start with that. The Kromskis came to make the Polonaise when a family from Sweden, I believe, brought to them an old spinning wheel, and they said, we want one that looks like this. And being woodworkers, wood turners, they were able to construct the wheel for the people, and they, I think, were very happy with it. The Kromskis then kept that design and modified it perhaps slightly and improved upon it. The history of the wheel goes back a long time to maybe the 1800s in Scandinavia. This was a type of wheel that was very prevalent in the Scandinavian countries, and when the immigrants came to the U.S., to the northern Midwest, Canada, they brought this style of wheel architecture with them, or they built wheels like this here in North America. When we introduced the Polonaise in 2000, we were at Convergence, and Rick Reeves was still making wheels at that time, and he came over and sat at a Polonaise and was spinning, and he related a little story to us. He said that he's associated with a museum out in the Midwest, and this style wheel, he said, he had several of them in the museum, and that the Kromski Polonaise was an exact replica of those antique wheels. And in fact, he said that that the type of wood turning that the Kromskis have on their Polonaise, he says, couldn't be done really today at an affordable price. But in fact, of course, the Kromskis do that. This is the real McCoy in terms of this Scandinavian design of two benches here. Maybe that is part of the attraction for me, in that this is a different type of architecture, and it's true to form in how it followed along what was developed in the Scandinavian countries. Let me talk about some of the aspects of the wheel, the technical information, get that covered for you. This is a double drive spinning wheel. It has 4 speeds over here on the flyer. You get 2 whirls. The ratios for the Polonaise are going to be 8, 12, 16, and 20 to 1. You do have the option of adding a larger, slower whirl or a smaller, faster whirl. And the Polonaise will allow you to mount over here on the flyer a jumbo flyer unit if you like. The bobbins on all of the Kromski wheels, they're all interchangeable regardless of the wheel that the Kromskis make, are very large compared to many other spinning wheel bobbins out there. And in most cases, against other popular wheels of the same type, they hold about 50% more yarn. Of course, with the jumbo flyer, you can get a larger orifice, a much larger bobbin, and a ratio for spinning kind of jumbo yarn. All of the double drive wheels that the Kromskis make, including the Polonaise, come with the standard package that allows you to also spin single drive. So the Scotch tension unit is over here under the flyer, and right now it's set up double drive. So we'll just keep this under here, but you can switch back and forth single drive, double drive very easily. A single treadle wheel. Let me talk a little bit about this architecture, because this is kind of the interesting part about this Scandinavian design. Over here on the wheel, normally you have 2 wheel posts, an axle going through the posts and through the hub of the wheel, and that axle and hub is rotating. With the Polonaise, the actual hardware is mounted just on the hub of the wheel, and through the two wheel posts you have thumb screws, these out here, that have a sharp point on them, and they nest inside a cup that's on this metal hardware over here on the wheel, and the wheel rotates on those two pins. A very free and easy, low resistant rotation. The footman for the Polonaise also goes through the bench. Most footmen are to the rear and behind the bench, but this one goes actually down through. It's a single treadle, single footman type of wheel. 24 inches in diameter, which is a good size, and the ratios that come standard with it are going to be covering the bases for pretty much all the types of spinning that you want to do. The last point I want to make about the architecture is that these two braces up here in front, adjusting screws, they are fixed back here at this intermediate bench, and they are wood screwed through the wheel posts. And these two screws rotate. And with the Polonaise, unlike any other spinning wheel, the angle of the wheel to the flyer can be adjusted. It can be moved left and right, and you do that just by rotating these screws slightly, and that allows you to aim the wheel over here to the flyer so you get perfect tracking of your drive band. Generally you set that and forget it. You don't have to fiddle with it at all. You might want to change it or adjust it if you change whirls over here, but this is how they were done in Scandinavian countries years ago, and this is how the Kromskis have implemented it here. And it's just a nice feature or aspect of the wheel that I think makes it very interesting. Obviously a lot of fancy wood turning on this wheel, as it is on most of the Kromski spinning wheels. Intermediate benches, a good sized treadle over here. Comes as a kit. You can get it in clear, mahogany, and walnut finish, or unfinished if you want to do it yourself. Just a very attractive wheel, and with all this woodworking that goes into it, this authentic hardware and the mechanics of it, it's an extremely good price point for the Polonaise compared with other high-end wheels. And I guarantee you that this will be very striking as you're using it. You'll appreciate it from your side of the wheel, and people looking at it certainly are going to be impressed with it because it's just a very attractive wheel. So when you go out and look at spinning wheels, this is one that's maybe a little larger than some of the other Kromski wheels, but it has its advantages and its certainly special appeal. The Kromski Polonaise is probably something that you want to consider. We're going to be presenting other information on the other Kromski wheels. Make sure you view that information as well. I hope this has been helpful. This is the Kromski Polonaise. I'm Tim Horschler with Tim Talks. Thanks a lot.